all my energy, you shoot your shot. But my tongue is a beretta, spirit spitting on whoever. The cycle of conviction will be set to repetition. Recycling yourself to yourself will be quite sickening. Cause you be getting what you giving. Plug into demise. I'm free, but please judge your mind. Mastering new levels, conquering new devils. One battle at a time, it's already mine. Playing my part so you can watch me shine in real time in your face and know it's not sublime. I'm eating mine, hungry hustle with a side of humble pie. Sipping wine is prayer time. Only keeping up with what's keeping mine. Choosing the cross and chosen as you feeling your mission every time. Can I be a witness for the people, Lord, who just don't know? Can I feel your heart for one more chance before you go unloved? Most High God, I know you can bring the rainbows and tornadoes. Just give me a little more time to tell them what I know. A slug in my mouth when I speak fire. A real energy more than a desire. A healing in the whisper, you can't miss the entire presentation to get the people inspired. Aspiring for greatness requires living higher. Guards up already, warrior princess, seen the energy. My shoulders only leaning when my man is with me. Cause every queen need a king, kingdom building purple dreams. Urban Bridgerton, yes, fairy tales can happen. Nothing is impossible if you dare to dream. I go for plan A and back it up with plan B, especially with spirit as my SWAT team. You got 48 hours to attend the jury. Don't make it in, and the reapers will go seeking you out. Pull up on your block and bang your beat down. No Miranda rights when you go before the Most High's crown. All right, guys. Now you can hear me. I had to make some arrangements, okay? It was not working for your girl, so I apologize about that. But we back, okay? We back. Good morning, all y'all kinfolk. Hope everything is well with you and yours and your family. All right. I know we were expecting a winter storm to start last night, and now they saying it's gonna come today. I don't know if it is or if it's not. I am not the weatherman or the weather lady, but I do know that it is very cold outside. So I'm praying for everyone experiencing homelessness right now. Don't have a place to go. Don't have any warm spaces. I pray that doors open for you and warmth comes to you, and resources become available to you because it's too cold for anybody to be outside like this. All right. What's up, y'all? So before we get into it, I just want to give y'all an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, come in the comment, say something, show love, ask any questions. If you have any type of questions, concerns, thoughts, like I would love to hear from you as well when we end this. So, comment, please comment. You can comment on Twitch. You can comment directly on StreamYard. I think I can. mm, I may be able to. You can also find and watch on the website as well, right here on themaitre.com. But I wonder. I think there's a little link that I can give y'all. Hold on, let me see. All right, so it's a link to StreamYard. It's a referral link if you guys want to use that. But I need to figure out how to get y'all on here. I mean, I know y'all can comment on Instagram to Mickie Alchemy. You can come in, we can talk there. You can come in directly into the StreamYard, but I need to figure out how to share all of this stuff. You could be watching on the Kodai CTV channel, which is on Roku right now. So if you're watching, shout out to you. Where else can you comment? On Facebook, on Mickie Alchemy Facebook. You can watch live there. You can also comment there too. And the comments will come here as well. If you want to come on the show, just let me know. And we can figure some things out and we can just talk. You feel me? Today, we're going to be in Psalms 23. Psalms 23 is my top scripture. This is one of the earliest scriptures that I was able to remember when I was younger.
And it's always stuck with me. I've kept it with me in my heart. And every time I was going through something that was just so beyond me, I would always quote Psalms 23. It was a consistent reminder of how good God is, and that to not be afraid of the things that's going on around us. So we are in this world, but not of it. And there's a lot of things that can, bring fear upon us. There's a lot of things that can make us get into our head and bring confusion. There are a lot of things that can test our faith, um, especially when we're in a world that is as disgusting and detestable and trifling as this one. Okay. We live in a world where the princes and principalities of it do terrible, terrible things. Uh, and every day I feel like we're made more aware of how troubling and disgusting and detestable and derogatory and deviant the world really is and the leaders of it. And so let's just say a quick prayer and we'll get started. All right. Most High, I come to you today saying thank you. Thank you for not allowing us to get, thank you for allowing us comfort in the storm. Thank you for allowing us to have space over our heads. Those who do right now, Lord, those who don't, I ask that you bless them and keep them and cover them in ways that only you can miraculously. Lord, I know that we live in a world full of detriment. And we live in a world full of liars and those who are in accordance with Baal. They do a lot of things underhanded and in our face to keep the people down and afraid and limited from their true potential. Well, Lord, I thank you for the reminder and the promise that you are the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. And as long as we trust in you and depend on you, that even if we were to die today, we would live forever in you. And I ask for everyone under the sound of my voice to get a full understanding and a knowing and a blessing and a comfort in knowing of how pure, how consistent, and how honest and how honorable you really are. In Yeshua's name we pray, amen. All right, y'all, let's get into Psalms 23. I'm reading it for the holy text, the holy scriptures. Let's get into it, to it. Okay. And I know it, but still want to just read it all right. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil, for thine art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou hast prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. It's such a simple verse, but it's such a powerful verse because when we think about the mission of being a believer of Christ, and we think about what it is to be, a quote unquote good person, when we're trying to live in alignment to His will, we want to do the right thing, type thing. It comes with a lot of pressure, and not just from others, because a lot of people are filled with judgment of what they think is right. Excuse me. But a lot of people, I feel like, excuse me, we are harder on ourselves. And when you've really, hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. I need a water. Hey, can you get it? All right, my bad. So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, or at least I do. I'm really hard on myself, y'all. I've been through a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things, from a early age to now. And when you know what the Lord is wanting you to do or what He's calling you to do, when you know that you fall short, because we all fall short, all right? We all fall short. But it gets frustrating sometimes because there's a pressure to do the right thing. There's a pressure to be a good person. But here you are and spirit. And so we dealing with real temptations. We deal with real things that we have to atone for. We dealing with not just the things that we bring upon ourselves, but we also deal with generational curses. We dealing with things that our mothers and our fathers did and our grandfathers and grandmothers did. Some of us, like yesterday I was speaking on, a lot of us are here from our grandparents' prayers and our mother's prayers and father's prayers. But a lot of us are here as well in the spaces that we're in. And I'm not talking about the best spaces because of the sins and the covenants that were made by our fathers, mothers, and grandfathers and grandmothers. Uh, we didn't only retrieve and receive blessings from above, we also received curses. We also received plagues and sickness and death through that same generational line. And so when we are here in this world, it's a real war between the mind, body, and the spirit in a world that is designed for your demise. And so when we get into Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's the first thing that really gets us tied up into the bounds of this world and the games of this world and the what they say, the rat race of this world, is because they put us on assignment. The Lord puts us on assignment, but the world also puts assignments on us. What is it to be a good woman or a quality woman? What is it to be a good man or a quality man? Is a woman a good woman solely by how she looks or, how she cooks? Is a man's worth only designed by how much he makes and what he provides financially? No, that's not true. But in the world space, even though you may be in a struggle or you may be going through a hard time or you may be going through a process of pruning from the Lord, the people in the world may tell you that you're failing. When the Lord is stripping you of the world and filling you with him and filling you with his promise and redirecting you, at that same time when you're with God, you also have the world looking at you and judging you and trying to tell you if you're a good person or not, if you're a good man or not, if you're worthy or not. um, and I just pray that we all get out of that stronghold of what the world is asking us to be. What are the designs and the constructs of what America tells you you have to do, or what society tells you have to be, outside of what the Lord has called you to be, what He has called you to do. There may be a season in a man's life where he may not have as much money as he would desire. He may not have the full provisions that he would like to have with for his wife and family and children. Does that mean that he's not a man of God? No. Does that mean that he is not worthy? No. Does that mean he may be in a space where he may not be ready to fully receive all that what God has for him? That's possible, because the Lord will process us, and He will not bless you in the spaces where you're not supposed to be. He will not bless you even if you're in the right space, but if you got the wrong people with you, He will hold your blessing. So sometimes we've even feeling like, oh, I still got more work to do. I still got more work to do. And sometimes, yes, but sometimes the work is not just in you. Sometimes the work is you separating from those who you're so familiar with, right? You on your knees, you praying every day for a different thing from the Lord, for the Lord to be filled with God, to be led by God, to be blessed by God. And you can know you're doing the right thing. You can know that you're doing what the Lord has called you to do, and you're still wondering, Lord, where is my blessing? Why is it not here yet? Why do I still have to wait? And that could be because you may be connected to someone who cannot receive the blessing that's for you. And that's real. The Lord will not give it to you to falter. He wants to give it to you to grow and nurture, so that you can grow and nurture and be prosperous as well. So we kind of get out of the wants and the needs, really understanding the difference between a want and a need. And then what, based off what your wants are and your needs are, where does that base come from? Who told you that this is what you needed? Did it come from the Lord or did it come from man? Right? And then if it came from the Lord and He says it's something that you need, then you should know that He will surely provide it for you. Like I said yesterday, sometimes the hardest thing that we can do as believers is be still, because we have been taught that we are responsible for our own saving. And at a certain part, we are accountable. Faith without works is dead. So there is a work that we are doing, but not all of that work is outside of ourselves. A lot of that work is internal. That work within how we're thinking, how we perceive the world around us, how we intake information, how we digest that information, how we let it settle within us. Do we allow it to grow within us, or do we hold it down because we want to hold on to something else more than we hold on to this truth? Because the truth is what sets you free, but the truth and the lie can't lie. It can't be in the same space at the same time. One of them is going to have to come out. So this going to be a choice on what you desire and what you choose to keep in and what you choose to let go of. Um, he maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He maketh me lie down. Man, I felt like I'm a hard worker, yo. And I don't really care. Like, again, and I'm going to say this every time I'm on this stream. I'm going to say this every time that I'm on this camera. I do not care what you think of me. Not a little bit, not a lot of bit, not a speck. I don't care. If I move based off the crowd's approval, or based off the admiration of others, or the clap of praise from people who are fake anyway, and I would have stopped moving a long time ago. And I realized a long time ago that the world is full of a lot of yes men and hype men, and you don't need neither one of those. I don't need no fans. I need fam, and I need people to those who want to hear, they'll hear. Even if you take a word on and I never see you again, that's okay. I'm just here to do what I'm called to do, and that's it. Um, the ones that, even those that I love, I can love you deeply, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. I realize that love is not in the control of me. If I say I love you, that means I love you here or there. And I can love you from a distance. I have that ability to love you from afar. Just because I love you doesn't mean I have to be all up in your business and you have to be all up in mine. Every I can love you and still understand that you processing and that you need some time. I can totally understand that, and I receive that, and I honor that, because like I said, love is not about control. Because I love you doesn't mean you have to do everything that I say. You have to be at my will. Loving you means that when you're down, I love you. When you're up, I love you. When you need space, I love you. I can see you. And if it gets to a point where the love I have for you is paining me, then I have to separate myself. But it doesn't mean I stop loving you. It just means I can't participate in the life that we're living. The proximity is painful to me. Loving you up close started to burn me. Loving you up close was breaking me. Loving you up close was me not loving myself. Loving you from a distance becomes possible. There's some family members that I would love to love up close again, and I cannot, because decisions were made, choices were made, lines were drawn, and it is what it is. And do I enjoy the separation of it? Not necessarily. In my ideal world, I have all my family and all my loved ones close, and we would be able to grow together, learn together, be well together, prosper together. But then you realize, outside of just this family, we are all individuals. You know, they say blood is thicker than water, but if you know, the whole statement is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Meaning, just because I come from you doesn't mean I'm stuck with you. Just because we come from the same bloodline doesn't mean that I have to stick around and deal with the same BS over and over again because I love you. Because I love you doesn't mean that I have to be caught up in your sin. Because I love my brother does not mean I have to be left behind with my brother. Because I love my sister doesn't mean I have to be left behind with my sister. Because I love my father doesn't, and I'm not saying it specific to my brother, my sister, I'm just saying, but because I love my father doesn't mean that I have to be left behind with my father. Because I love my mother does not mean I have to be left behind with my mother. Because I love my friends does not mean I have to be left behind with my friend. At a certain point, Everyone has to choose Christ for themselves. And you cannot force anybody along the journey, but you can't miss where you're supposed to be because somebody else decided they didn't want to, do that work. You are not the savior. You need to bear witness. And how do you? And then here's the thing: you going before, you going ahead and getting to where you need to go to be blessed with what you need to be blessed with can also turn around and be a blessing for your family. Joseph was set aside. He was put into the pit. He was put into jail. Went through a lot of stuff at the hands of his brothers. But when he came up and out, he was not where they left him. Not only was he not where they left him, he was over them. In a position not only just over them, but a position to bless them. And they didn't even know where the blessing was coming from. But if Joseph would have stayed looking for validation from his brothers, Joseph would have never made it to the kingdom. Joseph would have never been in the position to have the 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 storehouse. So when the drought came, when his family was looking for food, they came before Joseph. They didn't even know it was him. They didn't even recognize their brother. They didn't even recognize him. But here they are being fed. But had his brother not pursued through his Sheol, if the brother has not kept the faith through his trying time, if the brother had not kept seeking first the kingdom of God and not looking back at what his brothers did and didn't do, he would have never been in the position to one day come again to meet his father again, who was lied to about what happened to him. They deceived his father about him. But he saw his father again, and he was able to feed his brothers. He never stopped loving his people, but he still had to separate. He never stopped loving his brothers because he still had to feed them. But there was a core there, and there was a pain there that he had throughout all of his process. Even through all that the Lord had brought him through, there was still something in him that even in the end, when he saw his youngest brother and pulled him to the side. If you will go into the story, probably tomorrow. But we went into that story. He was like, man, he played a trick on them, basically. And when they realized when the brothers realized who they were talking to, it's like they could have died right there. You know what I'm saying? But could only be blessed that he had survived, because had he not, they would have drowned. They would have been not drowned. They would have been in drought. They would have starved. They would have died from starvation. But because Joseph set aside, going through the fire, being tested, going through being lied on, being persecuted, being sold. First, he was trafficked, then he was sold into slavery, then he was lied upon when he was trying to come up. Then Pharaoh's whatever wife was trying to get up on him, lied about that. They almost got him killed. Then it's all these things just to ultimately be in the highest position with all the storehouse available to him, enough to not only feed him and his, but those who had betrayed him. But if same with us, it may not go out the same way. But please don't be stuck behind because your homeboy is telling you he don't want to grow. Okay, you may have to leave little Bing Bing behind, like little Tucci may have to sit where he at while you go be blessed, and that's okay. But the Lord will not bless you when you're connected to other people, but He will maketh you lie down. And I say that I get to this point because in your process, the Lord, when we're being hard on ourselves for trying to do the right thing and for carrying so much, the pain, the shame, the drama, the betrayal, the hurt, the stabbing in the back, when you have to rest. Sometimes we're forced to rest. We don't even want to rest. And then in America, they almost make it against the law to find rest. They almost make it against the law to be well. They make it against the law to take time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's really important that you do, so much so that the Lord will maketh you lie down. He will make you lie down because we carry so much. He says, man, once you're with me, even though we on this journey, you will have peace. And it's so crazy because like I said, I've been through a lot of things, and so the Lord has shown up in my life over and over and over again, like over and over again, has He just shown up and taking care of things. I know what it is to live on a miracle because the Lord has provided miracles financially, for household, for food, for money. I mean, like I don't be having it, and the Lord will make it so. And so I'm so grateful, because it's not all in my works. Because if I did it alone, I would have failed a long time ago, and I would have given up a long time ago. So I'm thankful that He maketh us lie down in green pastures. So not only is He going to make you rest, He's going to make you rest and He's going to make you rest in peace. Like, when you take your moment, no matter where you going through it, even though you're going through the shadows of darkness, He will still give you rest. Even though death is knocking at your door, He will still give you peace. Even though you're on the boat and the storms are coming and things are shaking, when you're with Him, why are you weary when you know I walk on water and you can walk on water too? When you're with me, there's nothing that can hurt you. There's nothing that can touch you. And even when it tries to, when you truly understand that this is all an illusion and none of this even matters, you're not yoked to the BS the world tries to get you yoked to. You're not yoked to the limitations the world tries to limit you with. He leadeth me beside the still waters, meaning sometimes you need to be able to get a reflection of yourself. Like when we're going through, or let's say you if you're walking and you're going. Sorry, y'all. It's the kid thing. I'm a mama. I'm a mother. I'm a mother. Okay? And they be working me. So anyway, um, where was that? Oh, so if you're walking past and let's say you're sitting next to a rushing river, it's gonna be hard to see your reflection in the moving water, right? Because it's not still enough for you to see yourself. If you're looking into a rushing river, like I said, you're not going to be able to get the reflection. You're going to see the water. You're going to get the energy of the current, which is good. The energy of the current can power power electricity. The energy of the current can help move your boat. Energy of the current, you got fish. It's a living water. It's a living spring. A still water, when you have enough time, when you over a still water and you're reflecting upon still waters, you're going to be able to see yourself. You're going to be able to see where you are, what you need to work on. You're going to be able to see your kind of like that scene and Lion King. He came upon the still waters when he was in his journey, right, trying to figure out should he go back and take his place or not. Is he who he know he is or not? Is he worth it or not? Will he ever be able to get past this induced shame of quote unquote killing his father, which we know he was set up and that wasn't even what happened? But could he get past the deception of what he's done and the shame that it brought upon him for so long? It's like when leaving somebody you love because of a lie. Let's say you're dating somebody and you know that person loves you and you know that this person is good for you. But your homeboys or your homegirls come around and they start spewing hate. They start spewing lies. They start concocting stories and things that they know would get you to second guess this person that you know loves you. Like there's no doubt that this person loves you. They've shown you time and time again. They care about you. They love you. They're not just good to you. They're good for you. They're honorable. You know that it's good, but your homeboys don't like that you're good because to be with this person will require you growth and development and change. Your homegirls don't like that this is good because to be with them, it means growth, development, and change, and a shift that maybe they want to hate on, or maybe they just don't want to watch you go through. There's a lot of people sometimes that are around you who really don't want the best for you. There's a lot of people around you who will, man, who will bring lies and deception, and just to keep you from being where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there. And they claim love all day. They'll claim friend. But that's why I said you don't need a lot of yes men. You don't need no hype man. You don't need someone who's always there just to say, yeah, girl, yeah, girl, yeah, girl, or yeah, man, man, leave her, man. You need somebody to say, hey, bro, let's talk about this. All right, because you said Shawty was good to you. You said that she loved you. You said that you loved her. Where is the fear coming in? Or girl, you said that he was good to you. You said that you loved him. You said that he showed up for you. Where is this fear coming in? Let's talk about it. Let's work through it. Let me be real. I think you may be tripping, or I think we need to pray about it. I think we need to set some things aside. If you don't have friends who are gonna be honest with you, even in we read the other day, you need someone who can bring you objection. You need someone who can bring judgment on your BS. You don't need someone who is always making right your wrongs. When you wrong, you wrong. If you slipping, you're slipping. You need someone that's gonna help pull you up, not someone that says keep falling. When you're going through it, you don't want somebody that says go further into your BS. You want someone that's strong enough and willful enough and loves you enough to tell you to turn around. But even without it, the Lord will give you time to rest, because when you rest, you have time to think. When you rest, you have time to perceive and really have time to take in what's going around you, what's going on in you. Uh, I remember I told my friend, man, you gotta go out in the morning and just before you let your people in your ear, before you let TikTok in your ear, before you let me in your ear, before you let the world in your ear, put God in your ear first. Put your eyes and your ears on the Lord. Take time with Him first. Seek first the kingdom of God every day, so that you can have a clear mind. You know what I'm saying? You can come into your day on an accordance of not where people want to lead you, but where the Lord wants you to be, so that you can be blessed. Because these people cannot bless you. They cannot bless you. The Lord will not bless you if you're around the people who not supposed to receive your blessing. So being called out of something, I mean, it hurts sometimes to say, maybe see you never again, or maybe see you later. We don't know how the story ends, but if there's a set time He calls you out, you got to come out. Um, and then we have He restored, but He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. In your rest, in your separation, in your reflection of self, when you're spending time with God, when He has you in this bubble of safety with Him, and this nook of peace with Him, this paradise of freedom of anybody else's judgments or sentiments or expectations, because the world is, they give you so many expectations. The world, you got your expectations of your mom, your dad, your granny, your brother, your sister, your kids, your this, your that. It's a lot of people that put expectations on you, especially when you're already in a position of things that you already have to do. Like when you have to have kids, of course, you have to provide, you have to look out for them. And at a certain point, you do what you can, and the rest of it, you have to give it to God. But He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of His righteousness for His name's sake. So again, when you're taking the time, spending time with the Lord, in reflection, being restored with His promise and His peace and His truth, He's going to make it clear. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness. Once you spend time with Him and get away from all the noise, all the projections of people, all the limitations and expectations of others, then the Lord can free you from those bounds and bonds and position you where you need to be, so that make sure that the path that you're on is the correct one for you to receive your blessings. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So now that we on this path that He is giving you, the shadows of death, meaning not just of death to come get you. The shadows of death means that this is death. These are the death of things that have already occurred. The shadows of death is like the reflections of such, the scent and stench of such. When you are walking away, you're going to feel the walk away. When you're leaving that family unit, when you're leaving that friend group, um You may do this with tears in your eyes. I have saying goodbye and separating myself from some of the people that I truly love. It didn't get easier day by day. It's still very difficult. And sometimes I made songs like what I say. And sometimes I still cry about it. 'Cause some things you wish would never change. But if I had to do it all over again, I would do it the same. So I say thank you anyway. 'Cause any other way I wouldn't make it. I'm a little voice, but you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't get easy. You still have memories. You still have thoughts of the good times and when family was all together for Christmas and when the friends was still a good friend group when you was learning and growing and everything was all right when we was in our nostalgic days, we was in our good old days and we was riding bikes and we used to do our thing, man. Those are sweet memories though, and it hurts. It hurts when you walk through the shadows of death because they're gone. When you have to burn that bridge, you still smell the singe. It's not easy to choose the Lord sometimes. It's not easy to choose yourself over lies. Because especially when you are born into lies, when you have been born into captivity, even you can have Stockholm syndrome to your family. It's a real thing. Feeling dedicated and feeling responsible and feeling tied to a life that no longer fits. But the truth is, it no longer fits. Even though it hurts to say goodbye, I still got to say goodbye. Truth is, it's painful to shift, but it's required. So yea, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I shall fear no evil, for thine art with me. So I know it's hard to say goodbye. People gonna be mad about it. They may throw dirt on you, they may lie on you, they may curse you, they may try to bring shame to you. What's up, X Cloudy? They may try to bring shame to you. They may try to bring tumultuous things to you. They may try to play lies upon you. They may try to bring a lot of, what happened when Moses was coming out of Egypt. His brother was upset. Moses loved his brother. He was born in the place, or he was raised up in the place that was not his home, but he loved his brother. But when the truth came out of who he was and who they were, at some point, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is either you choosing to be a willful participant in the detriment of others and yourself, or you're choosing life, which may mean walking through the shadows of death. Moses coming out of Egypt was not easy. He went through it. Everything that he was built up in, he first had to humble himself before the Lord. All the things that the gold, the headpiece, all he had to remove it. He had to remove it and come out. And then what did he receive? A wife. The same one that he slick, condemned, or persecuted a little bit earlier in that same household, in that same space. But he came out and got him a wife, right? They reconnected. He got peace, right? Got a true sense of family. Went and got into worship. Went and got to know God. Went and spent some time to heal himself. And when he was called back to Egypt, it wasn't to be in Egypt. It was to right the position that he held. And he called for his brother. Brother, let my people go. You're like, oh, for real, it's what we own. For real, it's what we own. We may have been raised up in the same household, but it doesn't mean that we are two of the same. Because we were raised up in the same household, but we came from two different wombs, right? We came from two different heart spaces. We came from two different cultures, two different lineages, two different things to do. Where you feel dedicated to your calling of the Prince of Egypt to do what your father had done, I have to do what my father has told me to do, which means is that there is a degree of separation that must happen. But he pleaded to his brother too, because man, I love my brother, but at the same time, I can't be on what you on. My people got to still be set free. So by trial, by blood, by fire, whatever it needs to be, it's gonna be. But I love you though. At this in the same, right? Like at the same, I love you, but I can't participate in what you participating in. I'm no longer in agreement with the lifestyle that we have been living. It no longer fits. I have to come out. And in the shadows of death, in the shadows of who you used to be, and all the whispers and shame of who you used to be, the Lord is still with you. I shall feel no evil, for thy rod and thy staff comfort me. The rod meaning the thing that whooped my butt. The shadows of death are the shadows of me, not just others. The shadows of death. Yet though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I'm not just talking about principalities around me. I'm talking about principalities coming up out of me through the rod and the staff. We all know the spare the rod, spoil the child, through the rod and the staff. The rod through the whoopings of God, through his correction of God, through the conviction of God, and the staff through the leadership of God. I shall make it through the shadows of death, not by ease, but by trial, but by learning and growing by testament, because that's the only way out to be cleansed of this stuff that I've been through. I gotta go through, but I'm not alone, because he gonna give me peace throughout up here. You know, I'm going through this stuff. I know that he is with me. I know it's for the good of it. And when it gets too hard, I know who I can pray to get restored and replenished. When I feel like I'm carrying too much, I know exactly where to go lay them burdens down so I can keep down my journey to keep getting pulled out of who I used to be and where I'm coming out of. Because he's a daily working on me. And I don't have to be afraid of what's coming out of me, because what's coming out of me is making room for what he wants to put in me: a blessing, a hope, prosperity, peace, joy, love, a sound mind. Those are gifts of the Spirit. They comfort me. Thy rod and thy staff are a comfort. Being convicted by the Lord means he's still with you. That's a comfort. Being led by God, getting guided by God. When you see the signs and the wonders and the miracles and the light before you, because he will lead your path. You just gotta walk in it. Even though it's scary, he's with you. Thou hast prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Now, through my shadows of death, where am I headed to? Dinner. I'm headed to a dinner just for me. Something set aside just for me. So when I make it through this process, when I make it through this trial, when I make it through this cleansing, when I make it through this test, when I make it through this route, what's on the other side of me is the promise that I couldn't have when I was over there on the west side. I had to come to the east side. And those on the west side, they told me they would never go to the east side. Well, my promise is out east. I gotta go out east. So my promise is out north. I gotta leave from out south. Oh, I never leave out south. Well, I gotta go. I love you, but I can't stay. Oh, you betraying? You a hater? You a liar, bro? You ain't down. You ain't real. You was never da da da. Oh, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'ma see you when I see you, nigga. No fear, because God is with me. If you see me, you gonna see us. Okay, me and the Lord and the angels all around. I'm not like, I don't gotta, to the point where I don't even gotta fight these battles. I got legions of angels doing war for me. It gets to the point where I don't worry, I don't threat in the shadows of death, the shadows of you or the shadows of me. Because I know who I used to be. I know some things I'll be down to even to this day. There's somebody mess with me or do some stuff, and I go straight to God, because the old me will handle it a lot differently. The old me will handle this a lot differently. Way less grace, way less control, way less prayer, way less love, a lot more violence, and enjoy it. The truth is, we are a dichotomy. There is both in us. We dealing with this flesh. It's on us. But we have to be able to put that flesh into submission, because we've made a decision and we've made a covenant that we were going to do it the Lord's way. So yeah, I may want to get vengeance, and yeah, I may have a cool idea on how I could do it. Shoot, I may have several ways so can get got, but if I'm giving it to God, then I'm submitting before Christ, because it's not about me. It's not about what I can do. It's about what you want to do. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to be? How do you want me to handle this situation? Do you want me to give it to you, Lord? I'm going to give it to you. And every day I'm giving it to you until it's off of me. And I know you're going to handle it. Even if I see it or don't see it, I ain't got to be a witness to that other person's vengeance. I don't have to be a witness, but I do know that I just want to be in your grace, because I realize that me fighting my own battles just keeps me with more scars and wounds and strikes that I still too gotta be healed from, because I can't worry about what everybody else got going on. I gotta get me to heaven. Can't nobody speaking for me but me. When the Lord on that final judgment day, it's gonna be me and him, not me and my daddy, not him and my mama, not him and my granny for me. Can't nobody speak for me. Can't nobody speak for me. My dad gonna have to speak for himself. My mom gonna have to speak for herself. My granny gotta speak for herself, right? My family gotta speak for themselves. I gotta speak for myself. You gotta speak for yourself when you go before the Lord. So I can't control what so and so and who say doing. But when Yeshua told me to move, bro, I gotta move. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care who not in agreement with it because y'all can't save me. You cannot give me the breath of life. You cannot take it away. And if you did try to take my life, you can't take my soul because it's the Lord's. And then you're going to have to answer to that with God. And then in Revelation and in Enoch, it'll tell you that we can run the fade then. We can run the fade in the spirit. But in this place right now, I don't have time to worry about you. I got to get to my promise. Why? Because my dinner is being presented for me to eat. Something perfect, exactly how I like it, cooked just right, perfect temperature at the table with those who are supposed to be able to eat with me. There is a space where I don't have to say goodbye. There's a space where I can say hello. There's a time where I don't have to be in separation. There will be a time where I can come into agreement. I don't want to be alone in the shadows forever. I don't want to keep in the trials and tribulations forever. I got to get out of this stuff myself. I got to get out of my shit. I gotta get out of my own way. I gotta get out of my own way. I gotta clear my Lord. The Lord ease my mind. Right. Let me see clearly so I can walk boldly before you. So I can get. I'm hungry. Let me get to the plate. Let me get to the dinner. And those who can't eat with me, I know I get that. And it doesn't mean they can't eat. They just won't be at my table. It doesn't mean they won't have a sufficient amount. They just won't be eating with me. 6 degrees of separation. You feel me? But I want to eat and I want to share a meal with someone who loves me. I want to share a meal with those who genuinely care about my well being. I want to share, I want to break bread with those who will hold me accountable. I don't want to be around some yes men, hype men leading me to my detriment so we can all starve and die together. I want to be a part of a group of people who are willing to test me by fire because they understand how valuable we really are. And to not be will be a waste, right? Then it says, thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. No, not only are you going to bless me, but when we talked about the other day, when we talked about the healing aspect, he said some being mended with oil. I told you we talking about the prodigal son. After we close the door on the things that we don't want, and we take the steps in the process to come towards back home, the Lord will meet us where we're at, and not only will He meet us and receive us, but He will cleanse us, make us anew. He will anoint our heads and re-robe us. So not only are we going to be able to eat well, because what did the prodigal son get when he got back home? His dad ordered a feast. His father ordered a feast. A feast. Okay? There's a feast waiting for you for choosing the Lord. Okay? And an anointment and a covering over you to be a blessed man and a blessed woman and have a blessed family and be a blessed people. You can't let your brother, your sister, your mama keep you from your blessings because they can't get you to heaven. And we're back. I'll finish this up. And it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So when it's all said and done, yeah, it wasn't easy, but your enemies are not gone. They gonna be able to see you eat. Like I said, they may be eating too. Like I said, with Joseph, he had to feed the same people, his same brothers who betrayed him, right? Because he was in a position to do so. Now he couldn't withhold food from them, right? Because that's what he was there for. He was the leader. So when all the people from the land, not just his family, but everyone in that land had to come to Joseph's storehouse. Excuse me, to be well and to eat. So they wasn't special because they was his family. They was one of many, but they still got to eat because that was Joseph's position to do. He was a leader, so he didn't make them starve, but they wasn't together. Then when they was together, it was only because Joseph wanted to reveal who he really was because they never recognized him because they assumed him to be dead, right? They assumed him to never make it. But surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. So no matter where I go, even if it's more shadows, whatever, you're not alone. And that's the difference. People like to make you feel like when you're choosing yourself, when you're being called out of a place that you will be all by yourself, that no one will be able to support you, no one will love you, no one will be with you on your team, you will be all alone. And it's not true. And even at some time you may feel alone. There's a lot of times in my life where I felt like this just no one got it. No one understood. There are a lot of times I spent in solitude with just me and God, because trying to speak my piece felt like court. And I'm not finna keep, I'm not finna keep I'm not. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not finna keep explaining myself. I'm not finna keep defending myself. At a certain point, the decision is made. It is what it is. Whether you like it or not, this is how I'm moving. If I say that I love this person and that's where my heart is, then that's where my heart is. I don't care who don't like it. I don't care who don't agree with it. It's not for you to agree with. I'm happy you don't like my husband. If that's the case, because I don't need you being all up in his face anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's from God, if you know it's from the Lord, then you have to trust that what's for you is for you, no matter what it look like. Even if there's a degree of separation, if there's a time set aside, if it's for you, it'll come back to you. And if you love it, if you love something, let it go. And if it comes back, that's how you know. If it's real, it's for you. If it's for you, what God has for you, it is for you. Can nobody take it? Only you can delay it. You can delay it by trying to replace. You can delay it by trying to be God. You can delay it by listening to others and trying to figure out if, oh, trying to do this and this, but ultimately it won't be a fit. Because if something was set aside for you, perfectly made for you, then that's where it is. And then you're gonna have to come out of your mess, and prayerfully you didn't miss out on your blessing. All right. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. When you're with God, you're with God. It doesn't matter what state of life, doesn't matter where you are, no matter what's around you, no matter what witchcraft is coming against you, what curses are being placed upon you. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all, and we're back. But basically, that's it's just what I'm saying. Like, when there's a will, there's a way, and there's God, and there's a decision that has to be made. Trusting the Lord is not always the easiest thing, as far as like what it looked like. How many examples did we see where the Lord was getting disciples and He would sell somebody? Like they'd be like, "Oh, I want to go with you." He said, "Okay, let's go." Oh, well, let me go back and go get my clothes and go tell my mama. And if you come and come on, right? If you come and come on, you ain't always got all day. You ain't got 1,000 years. Like in that dream I told y'all I had in the other video. At a certain point, I was calling out a name. I was calling out somebody who was very important to me, right? Because I knew it was on the other side of here, right? And I wasn't just calling his name just because I wanted him to be with me. I was just calling his name because I wanted him to make it. I wanted him to make it over. I wanted him to get to the other side. I didn't want him to be stuck in limbo or drowned in this old world. Um, Not just to be with me, but just because I just don't want to see you down. I love you outside of my control. So even if it's not me and you, I love you. I want the best for you always. Even if it's not with me, I want you happy. I want you joyful. I want you in peace. I want you successful. I want you in heaven. I don't want you left behind. Forget me. I want your soul to be alive. you know? And like I said in the dream, when I got to the other side and he didn't make it, me and a couple of my homegirls, before we jumped into our light bodies, we looked at the world that used to be, because you couldn't see it anymore. It was like the world that used to be was like an ocean. You couldn't see the beginning or the end. There was nothing familiar that existed anymore. And to know that there were so many people that we loved who were in there, who would not come out, we could do nothing but pray. I just prayed and I wept. I prayed and I wept. I prayed for all of them, but then I prayed specific. I still a prayer for him, because it's like, man, Lord, I can't even enjoy. Like, I want to enjoy my life body. Right here, you are bringing me to the city of lights. You bringing me to the promised land, and I'm still on the edge of this water, just praying and crying my eyes out for those who didn't make it, and then for one in particular, because I love him. I love him. How can I move forward? I have to move forward, because I wasn't going to stay behind, because even it hurt to leave, right? Like, it was not easy to say goodbye. I mourned him even in heaven. I didn't go say, oh, he didn't make it, we in heaven. No, it was like, Lord, how you expect me to Lord, how do you expect me to enjoy? How do you expect me to enjoy the light when I know that my partner is gone? Like, the promise, right? But I couldn't choose for him. And so I just prayed and I prayed and I said, well, Lord, he's in this water. If he's in this water, maybe it doesn't necessarily mean he's dead, right? Lord, let him breathe. Give him a helmet. Give him like Sandy in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like, give him some gills or something. I don't know. Just don't let him die there. Like, don't let him die in there. Don't let him drown in principalities. Don't let him drown and too late. Don't let him drown. Like, you said, there's a will, there's a way, Lord. Even on this day, even on the other side, I'm still praying that he make it through. Like, I don't know how. I don't know how you would do it, but you are the Lord God. Only you could do it. So only you can do it. So I'm still, even though it looks like he's gone, even though it looks like he may have been left behind, even on the other side, I'm still praying for him. I'm still praying for those, but in a specific in my heart, it was a prayer for him. Like, please don't let him be lost because his brother decided not to continue on. Please don't let him be lost because he was so locked in that he couldn't let go of the things that was going to kill him, because they couldn't get to the other side to pray for him, but I could. I can. So I'm praying for him this day. To this day, I'm still praying for him. I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's doing, but I pray for him. I pray that his heart is at ease. I pray that his mind is at peace. I pray that wherever he is, that at least he's at least joyful or happy or with God, like in the sense of, you know, him, like that you two listen and we learned a lot from each other and took able to take from one another and growth. But even in there, like, it's not easy to let people go sometimes, but it doesn't mean that it's not required. Because if I didn't get over the hill, right, then how could I pray for those left? Like, you get what I'm trying to say? So even as much, as deeply as I care and love for somebody, you still gotta know when to let go. And you still gotta know when you just gotta give it to God, and that's all you can give it to. Where these people are not ours. That man is not yours. That woman is not yours, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Your family is not yours. My kids, they're mine to take care of and to love, but they are not mine. They are the Lord's. I am the Lord's. You are the Lord's. Your wife is the Lord's. That man is the Lord's. You know what I'm saying? So as much as we want to put them in our hands and love them and nurture them, sometimes we just got to give them back to God. And if it's for us to have again, we will. And if not, that's okay. But I'd much rather he be with God than left behind, right? Forget me, just be saved. Right? Forgive me, just be saved. Just because in the last days, I just want to see you come over that hill. In the last days, I just want to see you make it to the light. Not because I want to own you, not because you're mine, but because I love you. Because I love you, I want you to make it. Because I love you, I want my family to make it. Because I love you, I want my kids to make it. Because I love you, I will do what I'm called to do to make sure that I'm bearing witness so that they can make it. But again, you can't make the decision for people. You have to make the decision for yourself. And when you are being called out of a place, don't be afraid to take that walk, even if it seems lonesome, even if it feels like nobody understands, even if it feels like nobody gets it, even if it feels like you have to do it all by yourself. It's okay because you're not alone. The Lord is with you. His rod and his staff is with you. So you're gonna know if you're going too far left, you're gonna get that conviction. When you're going right, you're gonna get that staff. You're gonna be led and guided regardless. You're never alone. And you got angels all around you to protecting you. But don't forget, it's hard to know what you're leaving behind, but don't forget what you're headed to. You're headed to a prosperity. You're headed to a dinner that you still deserve, regardless if they want to eat with you or not. Don't miss your plate because you're too busy trying to worry about what's on somebody else's. Get to what God has for you, and everything will come. Everything else will fit. All right, everything else will come together. People, sometimes you have to lead by example. Sometimes people don't respect it till you're gone, and that's okay. That's okay. Most High, I come to you today saying thank you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for leading us and holding us and keeping us. Thank you for allowing us time to restore. Thank you for allowing us time to reflect. Thank you for allowing us time to grow and be. And as we walk in this tumultuous times in the world that is so unsure of what's going to happen next, if we'll even have tomorrow or the next day. Whether we don't know if we'll pass from cold, we don't know if we'll pass from ice, we don't know if we'll pass from government, we don't know if we'll pass from just all these different things that are coming against the people of God right now. Lord, I ask that we be not afraid and that we just continue on the path because I much rather be a martyr than a dead soul. In Yeshua's name I pray. Amen. Y'all, I pray that you are in strengthened. I pray that you feel emboldened to make the right decision, even when it's hard. I pray that you learn the true meaning of love and not ownership, you know. Um, and I pray that those that you love hear the Lord's voice, and so that they don't have to be left. But again, everybody has their journey alone. So I pray we all get on that. I hope we make it down that narrow path, man. Many are called, few are chosen. So I pray that we don't move in fear and weary, that the Lord be a guide and a helpmate to us. I pray that um, we are not so haughty and not so egotistical that we can go before the Lord to receive the water that He has for us, that we don't thirst anymore. And I pray that when we get to where we're going, Lord, that we have enough sense to just to honor and to be blessed by the blessings that you have for us and to be a blessing to others. All right. See y'all again. Check us out on Code.CTV. It is not just necessarily a religious channel, but it is an expression channel. It's an authentic channel. Black culture, black movies, black film, black art, black expression should be told by black people. The good and the ugly of it. That's the dichotomy of life. And no one should be telling our story but us because it's ours to tell. So my only request is that the stories you tell are real. The stories you tell are honorable. The stories you tell are a real reflection of you, your goals, and your light and your peace, not just your pain. All right. So, want to see how you can come on Code.CTV, get your podcast on there, get your shows or music on there. DM me, hit me up. You can go to themetro.com. You can call that number also on there. You can email us on there, or you can go to Mickie Alchemy on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Just hit me up. You feel me? I'm not hard to find. You know what I'm saying? So you got something, I got a package for you that something we could do on this channel, right? Pay-per-view events, live streams, live showcases. We could do a lot of things here. So let me be a blessing to you, y'all. Like, utilize me. Don't use me. I will not be used, but I am open to be utilized. All right. Peace.